Welcome to Next Level Greatness, the podcast. Around here, we'll be talking about all things expansion, going from good to great and from great to greatness. I'm your host, Barbie Collab. Get ready for your next level. Let's do this. Welcome to Next Level Greatness. A friend of mine asked me, who exactly is your podcast for? And I said, without hesitation, it's for someone who is already successful by the standard definition of success. You have a good job, maybe you have the kids, and you have all that you're supposed to have in order to be happy, but you know that there's something more and there's a dissatisfaction somewhere with that old definition. So if you are here because you want to just take your life to the next level and you know that you could be happier, more fulfilled, more successful, this is the right place. This is the right place. And I was thinking, I had another friend, tell me, Barbie, are you afraid to ruffle feathers? Because sometimes, she's like, I know you. And she said, sometimes I feel like your social media, for example, is a little vanilla. I don't know if she used that word. I think she may have. And I said, no. But you know what? Today, as I'm about to talk about the topic of becoming magnetic, I realize that I am a little afraid to ruffle feathers. So something really cool happened this morning. I attracted this experience into my life. And the reason that I'm saying that I was kind of hesitant or that I was afraid to ruffle feathers, really it's afraid of being judged and people saying like, oh, you're so privileged. And I'm like, wait a second. But if what I'm trying to do is to show people that there are many different possibilities in life and that if you want nice things or if you want to, for example, attract a cleaning service into your life, let's say you don't want to clean your own house anymore or maybe you already have a cleaning service or, someone that comes to clean your house, that's okay, right? Because that's time that you don't have to spend, that you could be providing a job for someone and that you could spend doing something else. And I remember when this was all the way back in 2010, I was building my business just full throttle, having a lot of success. And I found myself cleaning my toilet. And I was like, and there's nothing wrong with cleaning the toilet. I was always cleaning my entire apartment. But I realized at that moment that I could outsource certain things so that I could work in my zone of genius. And it actually took me a really long time to outsource many different services so that I could truly do the things that I'm great at. So why am I so afraid of sharing that with you guys, that I hired a cleaning person? I think there's a little voice in my head of I don't know if I should call them haters or whatever. Maybe this is you and you're not a hater, but you have limiting beliefs that, that if you have a cleaning person or you have someone that helps you, I don't know, do the lawn or cook for you or whatever, that somehow that's wrong. And what I realized this morning, I've realized it before, but I just came across this idea that I'm hesitant to share the story that I'm about to share because I was worried what you'd think. And a big part of being authentic and really for me to step into who I am is to say, screw it. Let people think what they're going to think. I need to be myself. And by me being myself, this gives you, if you need it, permission for you to be yourself. And so here I am saying, I'm not going to be apologetic because I'm able to do certain things in my life that maybe you want to do. And so maybe if you're the person that's saying oh, I can't believe Barbie has a cleaning person, or I can't believe that, she pays someone to, I don't know, pick up the poop, for example, or whatever. There is such a service. They're called poop soldiers or something like that. See, even as I share that right now, there's a part of me that's cringing what you're going to think, but it's Barbie, get over it. People are not always going to approve of your decisions, and that's okay. If you're busy judging me, then maybe this podcast is not for you. And that's not who I'm making this podcast for. I am making this podcast for the people, the individuals that want more. And it could mean more luxuries in addition to more fulfillment. So here we flip and go on this beautiful topic of becoming magnetic and attracting situations and people and circumstances into your life without having to force things, because I feel like that's what I did for many, many years. I was always busy trying to quote unquote make things happen. And what I've realized in the past year really is that when you become a magnet, you are attracting things to you. But magnets are objects that produce magnetic fields. So how do we become magnetic? How do we pull people, things, circumstances towards us? And I thought so much about this topic because I want this episode to be practical. I want you to be able to take what I'm about to give you and apply it into your life. So before I even get to my story, and I had someone message me the other day and ask me, Barbie, how did you come to this point where you are right now in your network marketing business, where you shifted from really having some limiting beliefs around age? So for example, I thought like, maybe I'm too old. I'm 48. That was a limiting belief. That's a bunch of nonsense, right? There are people at every age who want to be better, want to get better. And actually, I am at a point where I feel so grateful, and I'm truly, truly loving being my age and getting older, because I'm appreciating the wisdom that comes with aging. Not necessarily, but it's a process, and you have to make that happen. Not in an aggressive kind of way or in a forceful kind of way. But my point with wisdom is that it's not any book that I read. It's not that I read one book or that I took one course and boom, I was able to get rid of my limiting beliefs around aging, for example, or around, social media. It has been a process. Enlightenment, not to say that I'm enlightened, but I was just listening to Abraham Hicks, and she was talking about that. She's like, when people talk about becoming enlightened, it's almost like there's an end point. The thinking goes that there's some kind of end point, that you're going to one day just be enlightened, right? I am not the Buddha. So what we really are talking about is it's a process. And so just like the person that I know that was asking me, okay, what book did you listen to? What one thing did you do that helped you get over the limiting belief around aging and success? And, I had other limiting beliefs, and there's a talk, I can link it in here, related to my network marketing company where I was asked to speak. And I said it wasn't a book. It has been a full-time job and journey of working on myself and me becoming who I am today. It's not a magic pill, and it's not a book. It's a process. It's a never-ending, unfolding process. And I don't want to say it's work, because when I said it's a full-time job, I don't mean it in any kind of negative way. It is just my life. I am always working towards becoming the highest version of myself. And so when I am going to talk about right now about becoming magnetic, being a magnet, it's not this one time and done. And why am I stressing this? I'm stressing this because I see people give up so easily, like, oh, okay, I want to be a magnet. I'm going to try this once and then it's not working. That's not how most things work. There's some things when things just kind of happen, and it's a lifelong process. And our mindset, I don't remember who said it, but it's kind of like weeds. The weeds grow naturally. We have to really work at taking the weeds out so we can have a beautiful garden. All right, so now let me tell you about what happened. Okay, so we do have a cleaning service, and the crew, the woman who we were employing had a personal situation, so she needed to stop working. And I have been on the lookout. I was about to say hunt, but it has not been a hunt because hunting sounds in is forceful. But I've interviewed a few people. One of our dogs, Storm, she didn't approve she didn't approve the people that came. She did not like them. Another lady came and she came with her daughter. She wasn't the right fit. And so I've been thinking of this lady who has a cleaning service company who used to do work for us. And she was a very nice lady. And the women that she employed were also very nice, but they were very quick. And so they didn't do the kind of job that we were paying for. But I have had her in my mind for days. And I thought about reaching out to her, but I said, you know what? Let me sit on this. And I said, wouldn't it be cool if she just called me? And I said, I'm not going to force this. I know that the right person is going to show up, and whatever's supposed to happen is going to happen. What law is at play? This is manifestation. What law is at play right here? The law of allowing. It's the law of trusting. I set an intention of something that I wanted to have happen. Normally, my usual self, I'm making things happen, forcing things to happen, taking a lot of action instead of just allowing things to happen and come to me. And again, think of a magnet. A magnet is an object that produces a magnetic field, and then other objects are attracted to that magnetic. So I said, I'm not going to take any action. I have been spending hours per day with 4 dogs cleaning our home. And I said, I really do need help because I have other things that I need to do. And I want to be in my zone of genius. And if I'm spending, I'm not kidding, 4 hours a day cleaning our home, I can't be in my zone of genius. And so today is Friday. I'm recording this episode. And this morning I wake up, I look at my phone, and it is a message from the lady that I have been thinking of for the past 2 days. We have not had any contact in over a year and a half, maybe. And she said, hello, Barbara. So my name is Barbara in Spanish. I am, by the way, my parents are from South America, from Ecuador. And she said, hello, Barbara. I just wanted to say hello to you. I'm not trying to get business from you. I really just wanted to say hello to you and see how you're doing. It's like I attracted her, right? My force field, I was sending out, I'm 100% positive about this, you guys, because it's been happening all the time. And I don't want to make this episode so long, but in the past few weeks, I have had so many incidents where I am literally doing the same thing, that I am desiring something, not in a needy kind of way, but I am wanting something. I say, this is what I want. I am going to attract it to myself. And then the phone rings. Or like yesterday, I got this. She texted 9:10 p.m. at night, which is very late, very random, I think. I mean, those are not business hours. And then this morning I sent her a message and I said, you are not going to believe this. I have been thinking about you for the past 2 days, and let's set up a call. So we're going to talk later and see if it's a fit again. But I've had so many instances like this where I'm attracting situations to me, and I was like, yes, I have a method. And the thing is, you guys, it's not like I've invented this method. These are universal laws. This is how magnetism works. Okay, are you ready? I know you are. Number 1, I want you to think about people that you're drawn to. I want you to think about, okay, before we do that, think about people that you may see, whether you admire them or not, on social media or in your life. We live in such a social media world these days, right? But that you may or may not be drawn to, but that you see other people drawn to. And I'm going to give you a specific example with me. So I'm not going to name the name because there's some people that I'm not drawn to. Okay, so there was someone, a public figure, that it seems like everybody follows on social media. And I was following this person on social media, on Instagram, and she kept popping up on my feed. And every time she popped up on my feed, I found myself kind of annoyed. But she has millions and millions and millions of followers. And so why was I following her? I was following her because I thought, well, she's very successful. Maybe there's something that I could learn. But what I realized that if I was having a visceral reaction to this person, I don't necessarily think that, well, they're just, I was going to say, I don't know if they're authentic. They weren't authentic for me. We weren't resonating. So that was actually lowering my vibration. And so I asked myself, what is it about this person that is drawing millions of people to her? And what I decided was that she must be in alignment with herself. That is the key. She is happily doing what she's doing. She is putting out a certain frequency. She is giving out a certain message. And there are people that are resonating with that message. So that is how people are drawn to each other. We first have to be in alignment with ourselves. And so just because, here's an important point, just because someone else is magnetic, for example, this person, doesn't mean that we need to be like them. That person might embody certain characteristics, certain qualities that you might not want to embody. So I'll give you an example of someone else. I used to follow, and I like him. I'm just in a very different place in my life. Grant Cardone, he is the author of The 10X Rule. I think that's the name of the book. And I was so in that hustle mentality, and you got to 10X everything. And, I embraced that quality. I found that quality magnetic. I was reading all his books. I did groups about book clubs around that book. I mean, we were in the same frequency. So he was clearly aligned with his message. I was looking for that kind of message. And so I was drawn to his work. I was drawn to his training. When I changed and I decided, I don't want to 10X things. I don't want to work 12 hours a day or 10 hours a day or even 8 hours a day. The magnetic pull towards his work stopped for me. And so there has to be alignment on both ends. So ask yourself, who are you drawn to? Who are the people in your life that you feel good either following or reading their work or being around them? And ask yourself, what are the qualities that they possess that you seem to be attracted to? Because it's not enough just to be like, oh, wow, I really like her. I don't know why, right? Or I really like following him or reading his stuff or being around this person. I don't know why. Ask yourself why, because that's going to be really helpful, because it's going to help you see what your values are. My values have changed over time. The second thing to do is ask yourself, and don't stay here too long, what repels you in people? Because sometimes in the example of this person that I was following that I didn't enjoy, I was like, every time I see her stuff, I'm like, no, I don't like it, or it annoys me. So what is it that repels you? What are qualities that you don't like? So I personally don't like people who, I don't like people who are very showy and boisterous, and I do like material things. I do like luxuries, but I don't like the showiness of things or the one-sidedness, right? I believe that you can be a philanthropist, and you can also, okay, now I'm getting myself in trouble, because you can be a philanthropist and be a huge giver and really take care of your community, and you can have a yacht. Okay. Oh, I have a great example. So I follow, but actually he doesn't repel me. But I follow Patrick Bet-David. He's an entrepreneur. He talks about political stuff, issues. I mean, he's a brilliant guy. But anyway, the other day he was giving a tour of his $25 million home. It was incredible. I really respect his work. And when my husband and I were watching the show, it was like a video podcast. And Patrick was talking about all the entertaining he does and how, he's having a party tonight. And I wasn't judging him at all, I promise you. But even just watching him talk about how much entertaining he does, I was like, oh, hell no. Like, I am not that person. I am so much more of a loner. So that is not something that I would want for myself. So understanding what doesn't attract you about certain situations, certain people, will help you get clear on what you don't want in your life, what you don't want to attract. Yesterday, I watched J-Lo's documentary, Halftime. I obviously knew she was very hardworking. I mean, my respect for her just went to a whole other level. She is extremely hardworking, extremely bright. She really stands for what she believes. And I was able to see this kind of certainty about what she wants to do and how she commands the room. And that was something that she modeled for me. It was like this strength of character that I was like, wow, this is why she's magnetic the way she is. This is why I don't know if she's a billionaire, but she's up there and she's doing huge philanthropic work for the Latino community as well. And what I did see, it's not because it repelled me, but what I did see was just how hardworking she is, how many hours she works per day, and when she's on certain projects. And she was saying, I'm flying back and forth from Miami to New York, I think it was during the Super Bowl practice. And, when she would get up early in the morning and then they were showing how much work she was doing. I mean, she is a freaking hard worker. And I was like, okay, I don't want that either. Right? So I want to do the work that I want to do. I want to love it. I want to be passionate. But again, I'm not interested in that kind of hustle. And so that was wonderful for me to see, because sometimes we want certain things and we're barking up the wrong tree, right? And we're like, we don't realize what it takes to get there. And so I think that's something really important too, for us to see, like, okay, what does it take to be this person? Or not to be this person, but to have the lifestyle of this person. What does it take to have lifestyle of this person? The third step is to take an honest look at yourself. And if you want to take an honest look at yourself and ask yourself, how are you projecting yourself out into the world? If you want to be someone that is confident and that is attracting business, for example, and if you look at yourself and you're like, wait a second, but my actions are pretty forceful, I'm being aggressive, I'm coming off needy, or if I'm honest with myself, I'm coming off really insecure, or just kind of frazzled instead of calm. How are you projecting yourself in the world? What is your energy like? Because if you're looking to attract, for example, a mate that is a spouse, right? A mate, love into your life, but you're coming off really needy, who is going to be attracted to that? It's going to be a certain type of person. But if you look at yourself and you're like, okay, I'm acting a little bit needy, whether you're looking for a relationship or for business, then you can begin to act in a different way. You can begin to act with more confidence. And it's not really a matter of faking it till you make it, but it is. I mean, you can call it whatever it is, but that's how we embody. We embody by, yes, it's like practicing. It's like we're practicing how to be kind. I've done that before until I became kind. And so when I was watching the documentary with J-Lo and I saw the inner strength and I saw how she just commanded this respect because she was sure of who she is. And, it's a lifetime of working on herself and a long career. I was like, oh, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like to not be apologetic. And I saw that there was something there that I could learn. I saw that sometimes when I put myself out there, or I'm having conversations, or I'm dealing with issues, whether it's like a contractor or a business thing, or I'm making some kind of deal, I see that I can be a little bit like apologetic or unsure. If you watch the documentary, and I'm not interested in the politics of the documentary, by the way, at all. I'm saying I'm not interested in discussing it on my podcast for sure. But I loved how J-Lo, was so sure of expressing her opinion and that she was not apologetic. And I was like, I could learn and model being that way until it becomes my own. And then finally, there's just trusting. There's trusting that you are a magnet and that objects, circumstances, people are going to be drawn to you. And that's what I've been practicing. It's almost hard to describe, but it's like this ease of me like sitting back, if you will visualize, like me sitting back in my chair and just kind of knowing and trusting that the situations are going to come to me. And then they do. So I hope that this episode has been useful for you, and go back, take some notes. I allowed myself purposefully in this episode to just kind of be more me and less like scripted. I had my little notes, but I wanted you to feel me. I wanted you to go down this like winding path with me. And I have to tell you, in late August, my husband and I, so it's my retreat, but my husband's going to be there. I'm so freaking excited. I'm doing a very exclusive retreat in our home for the individual who already has success, but is ready, like I've been saying, to take their life to the next breakthrough. You want greatness. You have a good life. You want it to be great. You have a great life. You want it to be amazing. We're going to be having some breakthroughs. We're going to be working on we're going to be manifesting, basically. So if you are interested in that, I am going to provide a link for you to get some information. You can also reach out to me. It's going to be incredible. I know that it is. I can already see it because I've already manifested and I trust. All right, you guys, have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you on the next episode. Did you love that episode or what? Make sure to leave me a review and let's connect over on Facebook in Your Empowered Life community. I'll see you next time.